Well, tonight in the podcast, ladies and gentlemen, there was a clip with Al Sharpton, and he's continuing what the lie is that's going on right now with Representative Byron Donalds. Now, the other night, Friday evening, we talked about Byron Donalds and his conversation he was having with black men, and he was speaking about the black family being together during the time of the Jim Crow era. We went through and showed the marriage rate in 1960 was about 61%, which more than half of the black community was married. Married families means the black communities together. We could see that we got more done. We had more businesses. We had more black-owned schools. We went through all that during that live stream. We also fast forward to 2024, and the marriage rate of black America is 32%. You understand what I'm saying? So clearly that assessment was right, and we went through that through the Pew Research Center. But the Democrats and what they're homing in on is trying to say like he's trying to big up Jim Crow, and we know that's a complete lie. But I'm gonna run exactly what he said once again, and then let's hear Al Sharpton. But I have something else to ask Al Sharpton, Hakeem Jeffries, and you other Democrats as well. Since you care so much about someone talking about Jim Crow and somebody using any kind of anti-black to you is kind of, you trying to say it's like some anti-black language. Let's go ahead and roll this first clip.
You see, during Jim Crow, the black family was together.
That's right.
During Jim Crow, more black people were not just conservative, because black people are always a bit conservative-minded, but more black people voted conservatively. And then HEW, Lyndon Johnson, and then you go down that road, and now we are where we are. What's happened in the...
We are going to talk about the era, Congressman, and you name a race-based law, then you cannot take race out of the fact Jim Crow was a law against black people. You weren't just talking about the era of Dwight Eisenhower and Harry Truman. You named Jim Crow. There's only one way you could deal with Jim Crow, and that's by race. I mean, look, you and I have mutual friends. People say you're a straight shooter. We may disagree on politics. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. But look, you were born in Brooklyn. You went down into the South, went to Florida State. You have an interracial marriage. You're the congressman of a district that's not a black district. I mean, how can you even live with yourself acting like Jim Crow was a good era or better era for blacks? What happened to you?
Okay, that's real cute. That's real cute. I did not say that. And I'm not going to sit here and have to insinuate that against you. Because right now you're lying about what I said. I did say Jim Crow. I did reference it 3 times. That's not to say that it was better. I never said that. Those words never came out of my mouth. When are you going to get that through your skull and everybody else's skull? I never said that. And the difference between me and a lot of other Republicans, I'm not going to sit here.
You said it was better for us.
I'm not going to let you
under Jim Crow to bring families together. Did you say that?
Hakeem Jeffries was lying. The Biden campaign was lying. Go look at my words.
Now, Al Sharpton is old enough to know about the time of Jim Crow. Now, if you paid attention to everything that Al Sharpton was saying, he did not say, hey, Representative Donalds, I lived during that time period, and the black family was not together back in that time period. Notice he didn't say that. Everyone knows, based off statistics, based off just knowing your grandmama who lived through it, your grandfather who lived through it, my grandparents that lived through it. People from that era, they literally stayed married until they died. Both my grandparents on both sides lived together until they both died. My great-grandparents lived together with each other in marriages till they died, 40 and 50-year marriages. So, yes, the black community was more together. Al knows this. Al knows. But see, Al is only doing the footwork of the Democrat Party. They don't care about really what he said. They're only worried because a lot of black men are starting to kind of listen and kind of lean the way of Republicans, because these black men are really, they don't see no place in the Democrat Party. A lot of these men are businessmen. A lot of these men are career-driven men, forward-thinking black men, have families. They want to have different aspirations. They don't want to be at the bottom. They want to work their way out of it. And we know the Democrat Party as black men. We know that party is not a party of upward mobility. It's a party of social programs. It's a party that incentivizes the single parent household in our community. It's a party that promotes abortion to our black women and girls. That's that kind of party. It's a party that promotes anybody going into the bathroom with your little girl or your wife or your auntie or whatever, because this person say that they are a particular gender or whatever they say they want to say. A lot of black men aren't down with that. Sorry, they're not. A lot of black men are traditional men, so they don't really see a home in the Democrat Party. And on top of that, y'all don't respect black men. You have made sure to elevate the woman of our community above the black man and use the woman of our community to talk down on the black man. But you never elevate the white woman over the white man in your party. You never elevate the Hispanic woman, the Asian woman, the Arab woman to talk down on their men. It's only in our community, because you know that's out of line and out of order. And to keep the black community in disarray, you got to do it like that. And that's been the strategy, to keep black men and women at each other's throats. But thank God, a lot of black men and women have woke up to see the trickery and the deceit of the Democrat Party. And yes, Al Sharpton and them is all boule, and that's who they're using. Now, another thing I noticed, he was running down Byron Donalds' history. He said he was from Brooklyn. Okay, cool. Brooklyn. He went down to Florida, went to college. Okay, cool. He went to college. But did y'all pay attention to another tactic that Al was using to try to stir black people up on him? He said, you are in a interracial marriage. Why did he say that? Did his marriage have his wife? Was she there when he made that comment? Did he refer to his wife or anything? Why did Al do that? Al did that because if a person go research who his wife is a, white female. What they're trying to use is black people's rage against a black man marrying a white woman. That was a tactic he used to try to bring that home, right? Now, what I always say is, if you're going to be about being extremely, when it comes to marriage, and I say a person want to clean up the bloodline. Let's say you want to clean up the bloodline. If you are a black purist and you want to clean up the bloodline, I've said this before and people got mad at me and I don't care. If you want to really clean up the bloodline, if you look at the DNA of black Americans, you got white in you. All of us do, because of slavery. If you want to if you're going on the purity argument, then you actually got to go marry Africans who don't have European DNA to clean up the bloodline. After maybe a couple of generations, we'll get that European DNA out. I mean, if you want to go on the black purity argument. But they did that, but they didn't say that to Ketanji Brown Jackson. They don't say that to none of them, right? They don't even bring that up to Kamala. Not at all. They don't say nothing about their husbands when they have certain arguments against them, but only bring that up to him. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, look, if you're going to go on a purity argument, then you got to attack both sides. If you're going to go on that. Me, I don't care. Look, whatever you choose to do in your life, your business, I don't care. I ain't living with your person. They ain't at my house. The good thing about getting older for me is like, I pay attention to what make the world work, and arguing about somebody's life that ain't got to do with you. Whatever. But that's a tactic that a trope they trying to use on him, at least. And I've seen some people bringing that up. So what? Okay, he married to his wife, and a fact is a fact. The black community was more together in the 1960s, 1950s than they are now. I just recently did a video about a sister that talked about that certain opportunities brothers aren't getting because a lot of them aren't married. I explained, that I've heard that in the career I had too, and how a lot of single men was not hired, and not just single black men, but single men in general, actually, right? And I had so many brothers upset with me because I'm like, yeah, that's what these companies do. That's discrimination. They don't care what you say. They don't care. They discriminate all the time. You can't say discrimination because you're going to have to prove it in hiring. That's that sort of thing. Unless they tell somebody in their face and they file a lawsuit. But you don't want to be married. Let's call it what it is. So he was right. The community is man, woman, children. That is a family. Period. Man, woman, children. And that's not a bunch of single parent households isn't family. So Al and the Democrats are just attacking Byron on that. Because see, that's what they're doing. They're trying to springboard off of his comment to say, you see, he's MAGA. So, and then MAGA, what does it mean? Make America great again. Like, why don't y'all just say that? But see, it's kind of hard to say make America great again and attack somebody right afterward, right? Unless you throw something else behind it. But Hakeem Jeffries, Al Sharpton, all of them are so mad about this. Okay, fine. But where was Al? Let me remind y'all about something. New York Governor Kathy Hochul. Where was Al for this?
Right now we have, young black kids growing up in the Bronx who don't even know what the word computer is. They don't know. They don't know these things.
Al is so mad about this, right, with Byron, but where was his outrage for Kathy Hochul? Why didn't he bring her on the show and give her a tongue lashing about insulting black American children in the Bronx, saying they don't know what computer mean? See, the reason why I don't want to hear no talk from no black Democrat about racism, because when you have the anti-black racist that's in the Democrat Party, they're quiet. They're like, I don't know what y'all talking about. What racism? I mean, it was a gaffe. I mean, he made a mistake. She made a mistake. I mean, she didn't come out and do no major apologies. She just said it was a gaffe. That's not what she mean to say. But she didn't come out prostrating before the black community because no. And because those black Democrats like Hakeem Jeffries, Al Sharpton, and the rest of the Boule Martin, all of them, they didn't get at her about this. But Boule Martin railing against Representative Byron Donalds. What's more offensive to you? What Byron Donalds said, which was actually true, or what Kathy Hochul? Kathy Hochul was extremely offensive. Extremely. So you mean to tell me in the Bronx, there's black and Latino kids in the Bronx? So you mean every Latino kid know what a computer mean, but the black kids don't? I'm just saying because the Bronx is made up of blacks and Latinos. No, that was targeted what she was saying. She know good and well the kids is in the Bronx. She knows. But she purposely went on the world stage insulting black American children. And yet Al Sharpton didn't have nothing to say about that like he's talking to Representative Byron Donalds right now. This is stupidity that I have to fight against with these people. It is my job to deal with that, because if I don't deal with it and counter it, they're going to trick you again. They're going to have you sitting up there. They got to have black Americans go vote for them in November, folks. They're not going to win an election without black Americans. They can't win an election without you. If you choose the couch, they don't win. You got to show up for them. You don't got to vote for no Trump. A lot of black folks not going to vote for Trump. I know this. I'm not silly to say, yeah, Trump going to get 50% of the black vote. That's not about to happen. If Trump got 20%, 25% of the black vote, man, he didn't won something at that point. But the majority of black Americans are going to choose the doggone couch. That's just what they're going to choose. And Democrats got to try to get you off the couch, but they're not trying to get you off the couch by offering you anything. They're trying to get you off of the couch by stirring you up about racism. Like I said, I don't want to hear a black Democrat, especially on a national level, talking about racism when you had the opportunity to do something about racism and you don't. When have you ever heard Hakeem Jeffries advocating for an anti-black hate crime bill? When have you heard Hakeem Jeffries? He's the leader of the Democrats in the House. When have you heard him advocating for reparations in the form of cash payments to black Americans? He ain't said a freaking thing. But he all worried about Trump all day. And these black folk in the Democrat Party follow what the party say. They don't care about what you say. They use their skin color to say, we need representation. Why do we need representation when you're going to just follow what the party say and not follow what the community say? What's the point of representation at that point? Now, am I saying all black Democrats don't do what the community say? I won't say that, because that's an absolute. Now I can't speak in absolutes, because maybe there are some local Democrats in your city, in your community, that's fighting for the community and doing what's right and even disagree. Because you do have a wing of the Democrats that don't agree with the rank and file. I know you got like the rank and file Democrat and you got the progressive wing of the Democrats, but no matter if it's the rank and file or progressive wing of the Democrats, both of them agree that and we talking about in unison. I'm not talking about a couple of them that agree with reparations and all of that. No. As a whole, they don't agree with reparations in the form of cash payments. Maybe they take their energy to talk about reparations. Al Sharpton, Hakeem Jeffries, people like Boulay Martin. Maybe you took all your energy and your access to fight for reparations. Then we can get somewhere. You're not going to sit up here and try to make us afraid to get at the polls now. No. Oh, Trump, he's a convicted felon. Y'all don't want a convicted felon in office. What? Seriously? Nobody cares about Trump's cases. Nobody cares about it. I don't even care about his cases personally. It lets you know how low America has fallen. At one point in time, nobody be listening to a woman like Stormy Daniels. Like, please, you know what she chose to do for a living? And it's not like Donald Trump SA'd her or something. It's not like, that was a case about that, because that would be a criminal case, right? No, you talking about money that his lawyer at the time paid this woman or whatever. People pay all people all the time, all the freaking time. But that's his cases, whatever. The fact is, these people are so desperate because they can't listen. They can't tell you what they've done for black Americans. And then when they come in before you, they say, we done something for black Americans. We have lowered the price of insulin. Really? That's for black Americans? Last time I checked black Americans, I did a whole a podcast on that. Black Americans are the number one people with diabetes in this country. We're not. Now, I don't want nobody with diabetes. But speaking about diabetes, you know what I just came across the wire? China says they have discovered a cure to diabetes with a stem cell therapy. They say a guy that went through this new therapy they have, he was cured of diabetes. And if that is the case, you better believe it's about to be a mass influx of people with diabetes going to China for that. And I know the pharmaceutical companies are so pissed because, like I said, if that's what it is and that's 100% true, they claim the truth is, the pharmaceutical companies are done, or at least in that area. Because these people in America, see, if Joe Biden say he done something for America, why didn't his administration say we the one figured out the cure to diabetes? They have all these cures. I tell people all the time, they got the cure to all of this stuff. They do. They only keep it around because it makes them a lot of money. Well, what good is the pharmaceutical industry if people ain't sick? You know what I'm saying? Your doctors can't even tell you that they're going to cure you of something legally. They can't tell you that. They can say we're going to give you treatment, but they can't say we're going to cure you, so they won't get sued. But the Democrats haven't done nothing for black people. So the fear mongering, the Byron Donalds, all this other things that you're trying is still not getting people off the couch. It's still not. People that want to vote for Trump, they're going to vote for Trump. That's it. There's nothing you can do at this point. Nothing. Like I say, even if you put Trump in jail or you get him on house arrest, that's still not going to make nobody vote for you. You can get Trump off the ballot tomorrow. Well, he can't run at all. I won't vote for you. I'll be on the couch. Just straight up. I'm not voting for you for no Biden Harris. That's just not happening. Because the Democrat Party isn't a place for black men like me. The Democrat Party hasn't provided any resources for black men like me. Listen, Black men, you can't give us no food stamps, no welfare, no Section 8. We don't want that. Black men want upper mobility. I've been saying Biden could do some things to help out black men, like on the immediate that he don't need Congress for, like low interest lines of credit, or even zero interest business loans to help black men to have established businesses. That can help black men. Giving black men low interest FHA home loans could help out black men with their families, because their families are going to benefit. That's something they could do right off the back. Biden could, you want to right the wrongs, pardon everybody in the federal system that's locked up from your 1994 crime bill. That's something he can do on the federal level right now. On the state level, he can't, but at least the federal level, he can. These are things that he could do right now underneath his power. He can put federal money into the black community's hands. He can do that. It's a whole lot of things that he can do. He still got funds from all kinds of things. So, I want to send a stimulus, lineage-based payment for reparations. It's based on lineage, not race. Because, we always got to Edward Bloom proof anything that we're doing now, because people like him don't want us to have anything, right? And the only thing I would say about that, evil, even though it's around a long time, Edward Bloom won't be here forever. Trust me. His evil will expire one day too. He's an old man anyway. Trust me, his evil will expire. But don't let the Democrats gaslight you. Don't let the Democrats try to fearmonger you. Don't let the Democrats make you feel, the sky is falling. The Chicken Little thing. Don't let the Democrats do you that. Because trust me, you went through 4 years of Trump. If you listen to me right now, you just fine. And if we went through 4 years of Trump again, and at the end of that, you'll be just fine. We survived at least Democrat administrations. Hell, look at the administration we're dealing with now. Gas prices have never dropped in this administration. Food prices have not dropped in this administration. Hell, it went up. So come on now. You can't scare black people no doggone Trump. You can't scare black people no Republicans. We lived underneath both parties, and our conditions have still been the same. So that fear, you got to listen, Democrats. Let me say this before I wrap up. What you got to do, Democrats, is the Civil Rights Act and Voting Rights Act. You can't live off that no more. You got to bring something new to the table. It's just that simple. And now the younger black people are saying my vote's for sale. And since my vote is for sale, since my vote is for sale, you got to bring something. Democrats, you got something. Republicans, you got something. Now is your time. Bring it. We listening. And if you bring nothing, that's fine. You don't have to. We just choose the couch. Well, somebody said, well, if you sit on the couch, somebody voting. Okay, they voting. And I'm not going to sit here, constantly go out and vote Democrat, and Biden is going to bring in another 7 million people to give my tax dollars to. And then the people that he give my tax dollars to are disrespecting my people, black Americans, saying, you black Americans are lazy. Why they getting all these free handouts of my tax dollars? I'm not going to vote and facilitate that. I'm not. I will sit on my comfortable couch all day long. All day long. No. No, no, no. And that's how y'all got to think, black Americans. If you go out and vote for Biden, well, just go ahead and give the migrants your tax dollars. You might well pay it to them, because they're going to get it and you're not going to have nothing. They'll have a place to stay. You be on the streets. Look at who's the majority of the homeless in the United States of America. In every city, black Americans. Migrants that just came across the border, not even homeless, but you are. And you're going to go vote for a party that's going to continue to give them your resources? No.